All right, we're back.
We're vaguely awake.
Oh, well, vaguely. We had, 2 hours sleep last
Yeah.
night. Don't have babies,
Between
people.
us.
Just
Oh.
don't.
Or big kids either.
Yeah, just don't have children that keep you awake at night.
Oh.
I recommend it. But
Really?
on the positive side, we have amazing wallpaper. And on another negative, I have a
Original
shaving
70.
cut.
Yeah, you do. I have frizzy hair because it's about 4 million degrees here today.
Yeah, it's, what is it, like
Actually,
43,
hang on.
which is like, if you're in the US, that's
I'm
like
gonna Google it.
115, I think, around about that.
No, it's way
Fahrenheit.
more than that.
Is it?
Way more.
Okay, well, look it up
It's
then.
6 million.
Hey Siri, convert 43 degrees into Fahrenheit.
I hate Sarah.
109.
Oh, okay. Oh,
All right,
Don't-
enough about that.
don't listen to it.
Let's talk about the January Spud Fit Challenge. We've
Okay.
decided, if you didn't see our last post, that we are going to do only potatoes for all of January. Long story short, it's a new decade coming in. We're excited to really hit the ground running, build some momentum in the new decade, and really this is the most transformational and personal growth inducing thing that I've ever done. That year of potatoes was, and I want a piece of
verify
that
that.
again. And
Yeah. It started because I thought it would be nice for us to do it with people, because you can't miss a decade. The start of the dieters thing is a Monday morning, and I thought, well, next best thing to a Monday morning is a new week, and then a new month, and then a new year, but a new decade, it's just next level. So I thought, let's do it with them. Let's just do it all together. And because that first year, I've said it already, but that 2016, that Spudtember group, and then onwards from there, was just the most amazing bunch of people, and we all were in it together. It was lovely, and we just really want to recreate that. And but it's not without some hesitation. Can I have my water, please?
Yeah. So I guess I'm guessing that people watching this are going to be, well, from my point of view, people are going to be thinking, oh, Andrew's done a year before, this is going to be easy, no problem. And it's not. I'm telling you, it's not. Like, to me, that would be like saying, oh, Andrew's run a marathon before, that means the next marathon's going to be easy. And it's not. All it means is that I've done it before. If you've run a marathon before, then you know how hard it's going to be. You know where the trouble spots are. You know how to train for it and how to get through the tough bits. But that doesn't mean it's easy. You still got to do the work. Yeah, it's probably going to be easier for me than it was last time. But
It might be harder.
It might be.
I feel like it might be harder because it was novel,
It was novel, and I really had like a huge motivation. I was absolutely at a point of desperation in my life where it was like, felt like life or death to me. It really felt like it was. There was no option. It had to happen. But now I'm not in that position.
You were heading in a
anymore.
really bad direction.
Yeah, and I'm not in that position.
I didn't realise how bad
so.
until halfway through that year, when people started asking you questions like interviews, and I didn't realise how bad it had got. So
yeah. So maybe having maybe probably a little bit less motivation than I did last time. Maybe that'll make it harder. Who knows? But
but there's no denying what a massive change, or just how revealing it is. It's just even the 2 weeks I've done twice, it really reveals a lot about yourself that you don't realise. That you don't know what you just how much food takes over your life, or it has a complete hold over so many aspects of your life. I mean, you have to do it multiple times a day, sort of. I mean, obviously there are schools of thought on all sorts of things, but it's just there. It's there. It's everywhere, and removing it is really, really telling.
And it's sort of omnipresent in your life. I think it's like, just from a purely logistical point of view, you spend a lot of time thinking about, planning for, shopping, preparing, eating, cleaning up after food. It just takes up a lot of time and a lot of brain space. And then if you add that to someone who has a weight problem, or someone who has a food addiction problem,
or a food-related
illness, then that just exponentially increases the brain space that's taken up by food. So it's really amazing that when you remove that, all of the thought and planning and there's
a big hole.
I'm just eating potatoes. That's it. There's not much more to it than that. Exactly.
There's a big hole, and I find when I'm just working, I've been doing a lot of work lately on the website and just trying to get it ready, because we've got someone else building a new pretty one, but I was just getting everything in place, and I just reach for food constantly. Like, fortunately we have lots of healthy food around, so it's not too bad, but I just am always I've been thinking for a little while now. Well, this thought process is getting a bit hard. I'm going to eat, and I don't. It's not a conscious thing. I just start eating, and then not being able to reach. Well, only having a cold boiled potato. I'm toying with going really extreme, by the way. Haven't mentioned it to you yet.
Yeah. All right.
I did go out and buy a bunch of herbs and spices, but in preparation. But I'm toying with just doing cold boiled potatoes.
And that's it.
Maybe.
That is pretty extreme. Extreme results require extreme
this
measures.
is the thing about extreme results, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a massive weight problem. I don't have any massive issues that I can tell.
You've got a hotness problem. Way too hot.
Yeah, whatever. That's why I'm going to eat cold boiled. Yeah, but in a way, what's that saying? Sometimes when there's a saying, if things aren't, sometimes things need to be really bad for you to create change. And when they're not really bad, you can put up with a lot for a long time. And it's true of so many parts of life, like jobs. A job that's, you're going to hate it, but it's just not doing, you're not contributing to the world, really. It's not contributing to you. There are lots of things like that. And I think that's the sort of the point I'm at. I think if I drastically change what I've been eating, I think everything will get better than I can actually even sort of envisage. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Along with a lot of complaining. A lot. I'm hoping you'll all be there for me.
Yeah. Well, that's a great segue into what I really wanted to talk about was...
No plan.
I wanted to talk about how, like, this was not a spur of the moment decision that we're doing this January. It was, we had a big conversation about it over a few days about whether or not we actually want to do it, and there were some sticking points and some, things that are sort of getting in the way, and some toing and froing about pluses and minuses about doing this for the month. So, yeah, what were some of the things that made you think maybe you don't want to do it for the month?
Well, I just started thinking, my best mate's here from, she lives in Sydney, and we haven't seen each other for a year, and we'll probably go out a few times and everything. And then and there were lots of things like that. My mum, my mum found out because we put it on Facebook, that she rang and said, you're just having potatoes. That's going to be over my birthday. And I said, well,
and my dad's birthday.
Yeah, and your dad's birthday, and my sister's birthday. And I said, well, what I eat at your birthday isn't going to affect you. And she went, oh, yeah. There's lots of things like that. And then I just realised everything was about, I was doing exactly what you coach people to not do, and that was just make food the be-all and end-all. Like, none of those things need me to eat anything in particular at all. Just not necessary.
You can go out for dinner with your mate Monty and have a good time, and you can go to all the birthday parties and have a good time, and you can focus on the company of the people there. But that's not something you initially think of. Most people don't initially think of that. Like, we think of the challenges, and the challenges are going to be, can I go to a birthday party where there's all this amazing birthday food and eat only potatoes? And can I go out for dinner and eat only potatoes? And how's that going to work, and how's it going to look? And I've been there and done it, but you haven't, so it's a new experience.
How's it going to look? So I'm not too fussed about how it's going to look. I mean,
but it was a sticking point before. It was. I don't know if I want to do that.
Be the weirdo again.
Yeah,
we're always the weirdo.
we are.
We should be used to it.
And another point is, sorry, go.
No, go.
No, so another point was that, like, when I did that year, we had Teddy. He was only 2, just turned 2 when I started the year, and 2 years old. You don't really. Like, what his dad's eating doesn't matter. It's not even something he thinks about. No. But now he's 6 years old, and he's got, he knows what he likes, and he knows what he wants to eat with food. And obviously, he does love potato gnocchi. It's his favourite. But he wants to eat other things. There's no way he would want to eat only potatoes, nor would we want him to do it. So that's going to be a challenge as well, that we're going to have to, be preparing food for Teddy, and also now we have Frank as well, who's nearly 2.
They both love potatoes.
But
they're not going to be doing just potatoes. Someone asked if it was okay for kids, and I wouldn't put.
I wouldn't. No.
And not because I think there's a health problem with it at all, but I think psychologically kids should be. We teach our kids to eat strong food. We don't talk about good and bad. We talk about strong and weak food, and they know potatoes are strong food, so they can eat as many potatoes as they want. If they want to fill up on potatoes, great.
And if you want your kids to get healthy, then you have to be healthy.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You don't try to force anything on your kids.
Yeah.
You be healthy, set the example, be what you want your kids to
Provide healthy food.
Just be what you want your kids to be, and then the ball's in their court in a way. So yeah, that's a couple of the sort of sticking points for us of where we were umming and ahhing about whether we want to do it or not, and yeah, so that's where we're at, and we've been talking for 10 minutes now, so we should probably wrap up soon.
And I have to say, I haven't watched your course since I edited it. Sorry about
You watched it quite a lot.
Yeah, I did watch it quite a lot. I tuned it out.
You've watched it more than I have, actually.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, I've started watching it because it's been arriving in my inbox because I tested that it was all working again. Yeah. And because I fiddled with the website and I don't know what I'm doing, so I had to check. And it's been very interesting. You are quite insightful. I didn't realise that.
That reminds me of the time where
I might have to actually listen to you this month, which is disturbing.
When Teddy was 6 months old and we hadn't been out on a date in 6 months, and we finally got some babysitting, and we walked out the front gate to go out on a date, and Mandy turns to me and goes, "Wow, you're tall."
You're really tall.
I was like, we've been together for quite a while, but
6 years or something.
Yeah, so that's a similar thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's just been a long road. Who's got kids that don't sleep?
We should go and have a nap because the kids are being looked after. We don't have to worry about them at the moment. So let's go and have a nap while this YouTube's video is uploading. If you're interested, if you're keen, please comments and questions below. Email me. Click the link below if you'd like to get involved and do this with us. And tell all your friends and come along for the ride. We're going to share everything. We're going to share our struggles. I will have as well. Yeah, well, let's do it together. Let's share it.
I'll probably have more. I'll be at least more vocal about it. No.
And all right, so let's kick 2020 in the face. Bang! Let's show it who's boss. We're here. We're ready. Let's do it. That's a bit too much excitement. I'm sorry for that.
Wow.
All right. Spud up.
Spud up.